You don't have to have perfect credit to get into a home. In this video today, I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to get a home in 2025. We're going to go over what the minimum credit score is required for most mortgages, how us lenders evaluate your credit, some of the loan programs for low credit buyers, and then strategies to improve your credit fast. And then lastly, go into some of the myths about bad credit and home buying. So before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so that you're never missing any of my content. All right, let's get right into it. So what credit score do you need to buy a home? If you are going to use the FHA loan, you can expect to have at least a 580 and above credit score. So that's going to allow you to put at least 3.5% down. Now, with FHA, you're actually able to have a credit score as low as 500, but to get to the 500, you would have to put 10% down. So that means more money out of pocket, but it does give you the opportunity to purchase a home if you have the capital and just poor credit. So in a sense, just as a quick little recap, 500 to 580, you are looking at putting 10% down. If you're going to utilize a conventional loan, the minimum credit score that you need is a 620 plus credit score. If you are a veteran and you're able to apply for a VA loan, listen, if you're a veteran, you should always try to buy a house. Y'all have the best opportunities. I sometimes think about just joining the military just to get some of these benefits. You're looking at no minimum credit score, but you typically will want to have at least a 580 and above to get approved. If you're going to go with USDA, which is the loans to allow you to buy a property in a rural area, you will want to have a 640 and above to have the best pre-approval odds. So to kind of go into even more detail about what we look for in your credit, there are 3 credit bureaus that we look at: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, right? And so all 3 of these will give you a credit score. What we as a lender utilize is the mid score. So whatever is the middle one is what we utilize. For example, if we were to pull your credit right now and Equifax says you have a 632, TransUnion says you have a 641, and Experian says you have a 671. Sometimes if you're looking at Credit Karma on your own personal statement, you might just see the 670 and think you're good. That's not it. We're actually going to use this 641 credit score as your baseline, which in this instance, this is what you want. You want to have that 640, 620 and above, but that's what we look at. So again, if it was a situation where it was, let's just say 530, TransUnion was showing 590, and Experian was showing 580. Well, guess what? 580 would be the one that we'll be having to use for your credit. So, key takeaway here is you can still buy a home even with low credit. So, a little bit about me. My name is Money Madu. I'm a licensed loan originator and FHA HUD consultant based here in Houston, Texas. I'm able to do homes for primary residences in Texas, but also if you're purchasing an investment property, I'm able to help you in any place around the United States. My goal here is to help you make the best choice when deciding to buy a home, and so I would like to be known as your mortgage consultant. If you need to get in contact with me, you can go to ogemadu@topchoicelending.net. Or you can go to yougotpreapproved.com and you can book a consultation as well. So how do lenders evaluate your credit score? So what actually makes up your credit score? 35% goes into the payment history. So if you're making late payments, they actually hurt your score. 30% goes to your credit utilization. So if you have balances over 30%, which means that it's high, that plays a big factor into your credit score. So you typically want to keep the balance of your credits under the 30% mark. The length of credit history is 15% of what makes up your credit score. So if you have older accounts, that's always going to improve your score. Even if you have an old account that you don't use, it's best to still keep it on, just because if you were to close that account out, it's going to show that you have less of a history, which affects you negatively instead of positively. 10% goes to new credit increase. So if you're getting too many hard pulls, they lower your credit score. One thing to remember, especially when you are in the home buying process, the good thing is if you do have a hard credit pull, you're able to get as many hard credit pulls in a 2-week time frame, and you only get hit once. The last 10% goes to a credit mix. So it's a mix of loans and credit cards that goes toward this. So as a breakdown, your payment history, 35%, credit utilization, 30%, the length of credit history is 15%, new credit increase of 10%, and the credit mix is 10%. So some of the mortgage loan programs for low credit scores is FHA loan, which, as we mentioned before, is a 580 and above credit score. If you're a VA loan, there really isn't a credit minimum, but you want to keep above 580 if possible. If you are looking for a USDA loan, it does require a 680 and above for an automatic approval. And for bank statement loans, if you have a low credit score, bank statement loans is helpful if you are a self-employed borrower. And sometimes different credit unions and local programs are allowed to do manual underwriting. So typically, whenever we submit your file, we're looking to get an automated approval. So that means everything went well with your application. We looked at your credit, we looked at everything, and the automated underwriting system says that yes, this file is a go, everything's cleared. Sometimes it's not a go, but there are other ways to kind of like get it approved. And that's when you will have to work with some lenders that do manual approvals. So the action step here is to talk to multiple lenders, because not every lender uses the same credit guidelines. I wanted to jump in here really quickly and talk about these Limitless Focus supplements from Phoenix Athletica. If you're having brain fog or can't focus, these things get the job done. Me able to do all of these YouTube videos for you guys can't be done without this product. It allows me to focus without having any type of brain fatigue. So if you have any kind of brain fog or lack of clarity and you really need to focus, get the legal Adderall, which is Limitless Focus from Phoenix Athletica. Let them know I sent you. How are you able to improve your credit score quickly? So one is to dispute any errors that you have in your credit report and or do a what if analysis. So for free, you can use the annualcreditreport.com. And if you see any errors, you can go ahead and dispute that. If you're looking to buy a home, your lender can run what's called a what if analysis, and that will let them know exactly what needs to be either paid off or done so that you can increase your credit score from, let's just say you want to get it from a 580 to a 620. A what if analysis will let you know exactly what needs to be paid off without any questions. Another way to improve your credit score quickly is to become an authorized user on a family member's credit card. You can pay down your credit card balance. Again, if you get that to under a 30% utilization, that will increase your credit score. You can make sure that you set up automatic payments. That way you're able to avoid late fees and avoid new credit applications before you are getting a mortgage. Again, if you're adding on new debt, that actually makes what you're able to get approved for lower. So if you're getting new applications before you get a mortgage, the lender's going to ask you why you're applying for so much credit. So that's just something that you're going to have to deal with whenever you are applying. So just try not to get new applications till after you close on a home. So pro tip, even a 30% increase in your score can save you thousands on your mortgage. And the reason why is because, again, a lower credit score means your interest rate is going to be higher. And interest rates are already high, but like if a home loan was happening and one person had a 580 and one person had a 620, their interest rates will be completely, even if they were doing on the same loan, the interest rate would be completely different, and it would end up being hundreds of dollars difference in their monthly payment, which leads to, if they were to complete their payment in a 30-year time frame, over 6 figures in just in interest payments, just because their credit score was lower. So you definitely want to have a higher credit score so that your interest rate will be lower. Some common myths about buying a home with bad credit. So myth number one, you need perfect credit to buy a home. You don't need perfect credit. As we mentioned before, with the FHA loan and the VA loan, you can have a sub 600 credit score and still be able to purchase a home. Myth number two, you have to put 20% down with bad credit. That's still false. With a 580 and the FHA loan, you're still able to put 3.5% down. Myth number three, lenders won't approve me if I have collections. That's false. Many lenders are able to approve borrowers with paid off collections. As long as you pay it off, we're able to go ahead and take that off your credit and it wouldn't be used against you. So key takeaway, don't assume that you can't buy. There's always going to be options. What you want to do is always speak to a lender. That way you can see exactly what needs to be done and also be able to game plan going forward what you need to do. Final thoughts and next steps. If you're ready, first thing you want to do is get pre-approved with me or my team. You can go to yougotpreapproved.com. We'll be able to help you in that situation. If you're not ready, you can schedule a one-on-one home loan readiness consult with me. That way we can go over step-by-step what you need to do to be prepared to buy a home in the future. If you are ready, you can skip to number 3 and start shopping for a home with the realtor. The realtor will write an offer with number 4. And then once that offer gets accepted and you have an executed contract, we will then help you with the process of closing the loan. So all in all, understand that even with a low credit score, you're able to purchase a home. But make sure that you're doing everything that you can to have a credit score over 680 so that you're getting the best terms available for you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.